So in today's video, I want to help you understand really what my goal is as a mentor, as a coach. One of the pillars of what I try to achieve for my clients, and it's called the paint me like one of your French girls effect. And it sounds crude, it sounds a little silly, but it's a reference, obviously, if you aren't aware, to the movie Titanic, where, Rose goes to I forget the main character's name, but she goes to the main character, sees that he's painted all these women, and says, you know what, I want you to make me look like that. And you notice that in the movie, she doesn't ask how long will it take. She doesn't ask what kind of charcoal do you use. She doesn't ask how many other women have you worked with. She doesn't ask do you work with women like me. She doesn't ask any of these questions. She just sees the portfolio and says, you know what, I want that result and I want that outcome. And your job as a coach or a consultant is to make sure that before somebody even speaks with you, they understand the North Star, the sort of guiding light that you are trying to achieve for your clients with your programs, with your courses, with your advice, and with your input and your guidance. And so in today's video, I just kind of want to talk about the concept of the paint me like one of your French girls effect and how to achieve it in your marketing and in your business, and in such a way that clients just like line up ready to pay you. They barely know you. They just see the results and they're ready to go. Okay. So strategy number 1, or A, is just to put your clients' stories at the top. Clients' stories. And what is a client story versus a client result? And I make sure to use two very different words here. This client results, which is like I could say right now in this video, like our clients have earned over $10 million with our advice, right? From a lot of them from scratch. We've built like 7-figure businesses. We've got a lot of results, right? We've got results, but those results don't really sell. What really sells is the story. So instead of me saying, hey, look at these big numbers, if instead I were to say, check out our client Jeremy, who's an 18-year-old kid who lives with his parents and had no business experience to his background or name, had no idea where to start. He simply had a dream. He stumbled into our content on his YouTube recommendations, dove into all the content, watched everything we have, watched our free training, and eventually took a leap and booked a consult with myself and my team. And it actually took a few calls for him to invest, and he wasn't really in a buying state. He didn't have the money. He had to scrape it together to figure it out. Unlike a lot of our buyers who were like, yep, this is what I need, let's just get started. He really had a lot of confusion. But then when he invested, he was blown away by the material that we gave him and the action items that we gave him, and he realized that he has unlimited support and accountability from myself and my team to help his business goals become a reality. And within 3 months, even though his timeline was upwards of 12 months, he started booking his first clients and got to $10,000 a month in recurring revenue for his business as a small marketing consultant, okay? And so you can see how that story is more powerful than me saying 10 million in earnings, 8 7-figure businesses, right? The individual stories of your clients will actually end up attracting more clients like those people who have those similar stories. If you check out our free training, which is actually linked in the description, you'll notice that the first probably 10 minutes of it is just stories of successful clients, where they were before and where they've arrived today. So let's move on to point number 2 to achieve the paint me like one of your French girls effect, and it's a clear mechanism. A lot of people, they will market the results or the stories really well. And frankly, they've got a lot of really good stories and results. But if you can't present how you did it, or just at least explain away your general theories, people won't really know how, and they'll be confused. And unfortunately, a confused prospect never buys. So it's pretty clear how we achieve the results for our clients. If you haven't really dug into much of our content, that's maybe you don't know. But it's really just mastering the basics of organic marketing to get consults on an autopilot. So 1 to 2 sales calls a day, whether it's using Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any platform like that. Just the basics of building your own personal brand and your own authority around your name, so that people, refer their friends to your content, and naturally you kind of create this feedback loop of every time you make a sale, you get them results, you can market those results, which gives you more authority, and your content just starts to sort of grow, and it just becomes this feedback loop of consistent inbound consults for you and your company. So that's kind of our mechanism, and then we help people with sales if they've never sold before. We get them extremely comfortable on the phone extremely quickly, and then from scratch, if they're not even aware how to package their expertise, we help them build their offer. So we kind of have 3 key pillars as our our mechanism. Quickly building an online audience to create inbound sales consults for you and your company, building a high value, high ticket offer that gets great results for your clients based on what we've learned about client experience and satisfaction levels in general, and then mastering and understanding sales so that you get comfortable really quickly within 10 or 15 of these calls on closing these clients within one single call. So in our company, you can see how we've got both the mechanism and stories covered, but what's next? The reason why I compare this to the Titanic and Rose, and I forget the main character in the Titanic, embarrassingly, even though I should probably have at least Googled it before this video to sound like I actually know what I'm talking about. The mechanism is kind of like, obviously, his artistic, style, like his ability to notice details and kind of make the women that he paints feel pretty. And then, obviously, the story or the results are the other women. And if you notice in that one scene where they're sitting on the deck of the Titanic and looking out at the ocean, he's telling all these stories of these women he's met and on all of his adventures. And it's just enthralling for Rose to hear these stories and be like, wow, I kind of want to be like one of them. Like, I want to be honored in that same way. The last thing is making a clear call to action or a clear sort of next step. And again, a lot of people don't like that I use this example because it's kind of crude, and obviously if you watch the Titanic, there's a lot of nudity in these scenes, and so I'm not really saying anything about that. I'm just saying when you have the right mechanism, you have the right stories and results, and you have the right next step, your marketing can be simplified really rapidly down to just a few key things that you have to say to a random stranger, like just random traffic on the internet, whether it's YouTube or it's your free training funnel or it's a ad on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Mechanism, stories, clear next step. That's all you need. In the example in the Titanic, the next step was, the main character going to Rose and saying, like, look, if you ever wanted me to paint you, let me know, and we can go and we can do that. And he made it clear that that's something that he actively engages in, and then kind of the decision was on the side of the prospect, quote unquote. It was on her side to then decide when she desired to do this. So you have A, client stories and results, B, a clear mechanism, and C, next steps, making the next step extremely clear. What do they have to do to get started with you? Making sure that all of your clients know where to go in order to invest, how to get started, and what exactly that process will look like once they do get started. So really, these are the only 3 things you need to tell a client in order for them to be excited about investing with you and know that you are who they need to go with, or at least see you as a highly competitive option amongst multiple options that they may invest into in the future for your advice, your services, your consulting, your coaching, your program, your mastermind, your one-to-one coaching, whatever it is that you do, right? You need to have these 3 things in order to effectively achieve what I call, the paint me like one of your French girls effect. So if in your marketing right now you feel like you're missing any one of these 3 things, look at that and ask, how can I explain that rapidly? A lot of people, they focus on just one, where they have extreme client results, and they're like, check it out, look what we do, look how we have gotten these results, you got to invest with us, we get crazy results, and the results speak for themselves, and they never go more in depth about, how they're achieving these results or exactly what they do for their clients, which is why you need to explain the mechanism. And in the mechanism, these have a few key pillars. You don't need to over-explain it. You don't need to make it super complicated. You need to tell everything that you do very rapidly, very quickly, and in a concise fashion so that it leaves no questions. And then the next step needs to be very obvious too, whether it's like, hey, go visit this checkout page and you can buy our 297 course, or in our case, how we help our clients is, you should book a call with their company and see if it's a good fit, and just ask some questions back and forth and sort of exchange ideas. And if it's a good fit, we'll get started either on that call or sometime soon in the future, right? So yeah, just a super short video today. I just wanted to show you, how I am able to achieve more by saying less in my marketing, and what 3 things I really have to say in my marketing in order for a prospect to be excited about speaking with me or my company, and then inevitably make the investment. This is how we've grown our business to anywhere from $120,000 to $160,000 a month, pretty passively, like not fully passively. I don't really believe in complete passive income, but I personally, as a 22-year-old with a small niche YouTube channel, Instagram following, just a few basic funnels and processes, have been able to build a pretty sizable business by just saying the right things to my marketplace. So whether you work with us or not, whether you invest into our programs or not, the goal of this YouTube channel is to empower you to build an incredibly life-changing business that is very profitable. And so if you really want to, get a prospect to be excited to invest with you, take these 3 things and figure out at what points you can explain them in your marketing, whether it's in your YouTube content, it's in your funnel, your webinar, or it's in your outbound phone, sort of sales process, or wherever it is. You need to make these 3 things extremely clear. Obviously, again, I'll just say them again. Client stories or results, the mechanism you use to achieve those results, and then the next steps to get started with you. And if you're good enough at what you do, then these 3 things will speak for themselves, right? It's quite simple. Check out all the results. Like I said, the free training is linked in the description. And in the first part of that training, I'm just like, check out all the results. Check out what it's done. If you don't have results, you can speak about your own personal results, or you can speak about people that you know of who maybe are in your network, or people you follow online, or whoever, just influencers in the space that have implemented the things that you implement for your clients and the results that they've been able to get. You don't even have to take credit for the results. You can just say, look at this transformation this person goes through. This is what I help my clients do. And then explain the mechanism, and then explain the next steps, okay? So I hope this has been a valuable video for you today. Just a really quick one, just to explain how to get people to take action with you, whether you have a high-ticket coaching offer, service, or program. This is what we help our clients do, and obviously you can watch the free training using the link in the description. It's a full 40-minute breakdown of exactly how we really do achieve these results for our clients, with proof every single step of the way, showing you that, if you are serious about growing your business, whether you have the, desire to or not, hopefully I can persuade you and show you that we are a great investment to make in order to help guarantee the growth and success of your company, both in the short term and in the long term. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you in the next video.